to switch over to Ilana from the University of the Sunshine Coast here in just like 3 or 4 minutes. So stick around if you guys can and learn about what they have to offer at USC.
Okay, I may do that, but I'll stop my audio and my video so that I can scoop out of here when I need to.
Thanks
Thanks,
so much.
everybody.
Thank you, Brianna, for doing this.
Thank you. Ilana, I'm going to make you a co-host so that you can share. Do you have like a presentation you want to share?
I do. If you want to have presentations, I have one prepared. If not, I'm happy just to chat more informally. So
yeah, I've got it to where you can share, and we'll have people on that may have questions sort of at the end.
Sure.
We'll do maybe, you know, however long your presentation is, and then leave time at the end for questions.
Perfect. Excellent. It's nice to see you on video again.
Yeah. Are you doing EAIE online this?
I'm not. I did Forum and I did NAFSA online, but I won't be doing EAIE at this stage. We have quite strong relationships with our Europeans, and my colleagues have all those covered. So we thought, oh, there's so many Zoom sessions and so many online conferences that we'll just enjoy the time to catch up on some work, because it's been such an unusual year.
I know, I totally agree. I do miss
it
though.
Yeah, I think for this week, this is the first year in 10 years that I've been in Australia for more than 6 months.
Wow.
So so for me, it's quite an adjustment. But it's also a really nice adjustment to sort of enjoy what we have locally and to spend time with my family. And yeah, it's been quite a change. But I think we've been very lucky here in Queensland as well. So I can't really complain about anything on that angle. But what about for all you guys? Are you doing all right?
I'm doing great. I think I like the challenge of learning new, you know, obviously international education is taking like a whole new turn that like I never saw really coming, but I'm into the challenge. You know, I like figuring out in different ways, and I'm trying to see the good in it, right? Like normally me and you wouldn't be able to log in and have a conversation, or for some you weren't before, and now I'm able to meet with everybody on Zoom and stuff. I'm like, it's not as good as the real thing, you know, and like being together, but I still think it's just an interesting change.
I think so too, and it sort of forces people and organizations to step outside their comfort zone. And I think I'm actually studying myself, so I'm doing an MBA online.
Oh wow.
And I wouldn't have had that opportunity if this didn't all occur. So I'm taking the opportunity to upskill, and also just now the services that are available for students online, it's just so much more engaging and intentional than sort of online learning. It's really online teaching, which is something that's really nice to experience. And really, if COVID didn't arrive, these types of things would have taken 10 years to develop and get more comfortable with. So it sort of thrust us into this technology whirlwind. So
okay, well, if you want to go ahead and get started, and then if students have questions, and they can send them in the chat or ask at the end.
Sure, excellent. I will just try and share my screen. Let's see if I can do that. Okay, can you all see that?
Yes, we can.
Excellent. Great. Okay, so hello to everybody online. Thank you for joining in. It is actually 4:30 a.m. here in Queensland, Australia. My name is Ilana, and I am the Admissions and Recruitment Officer at the University of the Sunshine Coast. And I actually did a Bachelor of Business Management at USC. and I studied abroad in Germany during my degree, which is a big step out. I loved hearing about the success and struggles of those that you were just speaking with, and I agree there are some real challenges that you have to overcome, but there was also some really amazing wins that I had, and an experience that I wouldn't change at all. So throughout my presentation, you might see kangaroos. They are not photoshopped. We do have kangaroos on campus. We're very lucky because we are built on a wildlife reserve. So it's a little bit about myself and the beautiful kangaroos that we do have. So obviously we are a partner university, and I wanted to share with you that we're not the only option. You've already met with some other people to discuss the travel opportunities. So I thought I'd share a little bit about Australia as a country. So if you haven't been to Australia, we are the 6th largest country by area in the world. So although we're a little island at the bottom of the map, it is quite a big island. We do have a population of about 25 million, and Australians of course speak English, but we do have a very unique way of saying certain things. And of course you'll learn that if you do study abroad down in Australia as well. We are known as Aussies, and that's quite a common name to call us. It's not offensive, and we also refer to ourselves as Aussies, so feel free to do that as well. And we are really lucky. We have the Indigenous Australians and Aboriginal community, Torres Strait Islander people that are in our community in Australia, and USC is really attached to that heritage and acknowledgement of our traditional custodians. So if you are looking to go into cultural or maybe some historical subjects or courses, USC and a number of other Australian universities have great opportunities in terms of learning about our Indigenous community, which I think is very important. USC is also located on the east coast of Australia. So for those of you who haven't studied abroad in Australia before or haven't travelled down under, we are on the east coast, and Brisbane is our capital city, and we're in the state of Queensland, which is just out of distance-wise, we're approximately 14 hours drive north of Sydney. So it is quite a big drive. And we were founded in 1996, so we're one of the youngest universities in Australia. And you'll probably see throughout the presentation a few of my images. The buildings are quite modern and quite interesting. And we have a lot of environmentally friendly and sustainable buildings on campus. So it is a really nice campus to study on and learn on it as well. So that's a little bit about Australia. And of course, during the Q&A session, I'll be happy to try and provide as much advice around Australia as a whole, as well as some of the universities that we compare to as well. So for those international students that do come to Australia, most of them fly down to Brisbane. Again, it's our capital city of Queensland. So you'll fly into the international airport when borders do open, of course. And then we are actually an hour drive north of Brisbane. So you get dropped off at your student accommodation, and then you can start your study abroad semester. We do also have an airport on the Sunshine Coast. So we offer five flights a day to Sydney, Melbourne, up to Cairns, to the Great Barrier Reef. So it's a really great central destination to be able to travel and see the rest of Australia during your time studying abroad as well. So not only can you see the Sunshine Coast, but you have that opportunity to travel and explore some more local Australian areas as well. The Sunshine Coast as a destination actually spans from Caloundra all the way up to Noosa Heads, which is about 62 kilometres, or about, I believe that's about 30 or 40 miles of beach. And then we also have this beautiful hinterland, so you can go hiking and bushwalking as well, which is really, really beautiful. We do have a lot of world-class attractions and events. We're known on the Sunshine Coast for our outdoor environment and also our sporting events. So if you are a keen outdoor person, if you like water sports, if you like hiking, running, triathlons, there's a lot of events around the Sunshine Coast that you can participate in as well. And we're a very laid back and relaxed environment. So we do have a saying on the Sunshine Coast that as long as the beer is cold and the surf is good, there are no worries in life. So that just gives you a little bit of the mentality of the Sunshine Coast people. They are pretty relaxed and easygoing as well. And I've already mentioned the airports there, so both the international and the domestic airport that you have access to. You did see a little image at the start of our campus, and this is a very similar image as well. This just gives you a good indication of USC being a wildlife reserve and why we do have kangaroos and 260 other wild species on campus. So if you are also interested in animals and the environment, our campus really allows you to immerse yourself in the Australian environments and animals as well, which is beautiful. We are quite an open campus because we do have great weather most of the year round. So we have approximately 22 to 30 degrees Celsius during the summer. And during our winter months, it gets nowhere near as cold as what Illinois would. But at the moment, we've just hit spring and we're in 26 degrees. So if you do want some warmer weather, Australia and Queensland is a great destination to go. We don't have any snow on the Sunshine Coast. And as you can see, the beach is just in the background here. And that's about a 7-minute drive from campus or a 15-minute bus trip if you take the local public transport as well. We're also really lucky. Our student accommodation is actually just a 5-minute walk from campus. And we have an amazing sports precinct. So again, for anybody that is wanting to do social sport or is more competitive, we have a high performance athlete program here on the Sunshine Coast where we actually are home to Australian Cycling Academy and the Australian Paralympic swim team. So if that's of interest to you, both in a study or in a personal pursuit, that is definitely an option for you here at USC as well. Some facts and figures about USC. So our campus is actually one of the smallest campuses in Australia. So we only have 11,500 students on campus. But for us, that's quite a nice size environment. So we do have a lot of students on campus, so it makes it a really good community feeling and something like you would experience in the US with students living on campus and studying on campus as well. We do have over 280 different course choices. So for those of you who are studying abroad, there is usually something for all of you to study that would work towards credit back at Millikan, which is really great. And then I've just put up some statistics in terms of the average age, which is about 26. So we have a range of different courses, of course, going from undergraduate to postgraduate study. And then in Australia, most of our students finish high school when they're 18, and then they'll usually have a gap year or two, and then they'll come back to university. So a lot of our Australian students will either start studying straight out of high school, which is about 18 years of age, or they will wait until they're about 21 or 22 and then come back to university as well. So just to give you a little indication, there'll be a range of different age groups on campus. And most of our students study full-time as well. That's something that as an international student that you are required to do. So studying full-time is approximately 3 or 4 courses at USC, and it's equivalent to about 12 to 15 US credits as well. But I can answer any more of those questions down the track. And then for any of those students that are interested in sort of the research topics and the research areas, we have over 26 research fields. And one of our favorite is actually the research we do with koalas and kangaroos on campus. And you might have seen over the last year, we've become quite well known for our koala dogs that are on campus. So we have a number of gorgeous koala dogs that actually search out koala droppings to identify where koalas are so that we can do some research. And given the bushfires that occurred last year and earlier this year, our USC research dogs actually went out into the devastation and tried to find a number of koalas for us. And Leonardo DiCaprio shared our beautiful little dogs on his Instagram account. So they've got some good clout on terms of Instagram, and who's been sharing their research that they're doing as well. So that's really cute. But I can answer any more research topics a little bit later as well. For our international students, our international student community actually makes up about 10 to 15% of our total student population. So that has about 1,000 to 1,200 international students on campus at any time, and they represent over 80 countries. So not only are you having a really great opportunity to meet a lot of Australians and study with Australians and live with Australians, it's really amazing the different people that you meet from all over the world during your study abroad semester. And I think this goes for a lot of universities around the world. You won't just get to meet people from the travel destination that you're going to, but you're actually getting to meet people from a range of different countries. And I think that just adds to this experience of international travel and becoming a global citizen, which I truly value as an international student historically myself. So I think that's really an advantage to traveling abroad, no matter where you go in the world. And then USC, of course, has been ranked as one of Australia's highest public universities for teaching quality, overall student experience, skills development, social equity, and first generation and learning resources. So we have a number of different ranking systems in Australia, but the Good Universities Guide is a system that a lot of domestic students or Australian students would use to identify a university that offers them what they're looking for in an education and an experience at a university as well. And in terms of the types of programs that we offer, USC does offer a study abroad program, and that includes both exchange and study abroad or direct enroll opportunities for US students. So it is semester based. We don't have a summer program or a J term. So most of the students that do come down for anywhere from sort of 3 to 6 months, depending on how long you'd like to travel and stay for. And we have, again, a number of different courses. There's over 280 of them in a range of different disciplines. So business, communication, technology, creative industries, education, engineering, pretty much everything apart from medicine is offered to our international students, but we do a lot of pre-med and bio as well. So if any students are interested in those subjects. And the amazing thing is when you are studying abroad, you're not just traveling and studying, you are earning credit towards your degree back at Millikan as well. And we try to have those all pre-approved and communicated to make sure you're enrolling in subjects that will go towards your degree once you return. And again, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, at USC, most of our students will actually be studying with our current undergrad students. So you're not put in a classroom with other exchange students or study abroad students. You are actually enrolled in the undergraduate courses that our Australian students are enrolled in. So again, you have more opportunities to connect with local Australians. And as I mentioned, you will study 3 to 4 courses at USC, and that's a full-time study load. And approximately, it works out to be about 12 hours on campus each week. You don't have to be there Monday to Friday all day, every day. It's usually 12 hours in total for all 4 classes, but you will be required to do extra reading and homework as well. And the way our system works is we'll usually have 1 lecture, which is about 2 hours in length, and then you'll have a tutorial, which is about 1 hour in length. And the tutorial is a smaller class where you'll have time to speak with your professor and go through any sort of exercises or readings or have any questions or work towards assignments. whereas the lecture is more about the concepts and the theories and maybe having a little bit of a debate, and that will be a larger class of about 50 to 200 students. And those, the tutorials will have about 20 students in the class, so that's a much smaller class. Our academic calendar, so we are upside down, we are in the Southern Hemisphere, so it's a little bit different to the US, but our semester 1 or spring semester is usually from March through till June, and our fall semester is usually through July till November. So they do vary a little bit. So if you're looking to study in 2022, the dates will change very slightly, but only by about a week or two. So that just gives you an indication of the approximate dates as well. Student health and well-being, of course, that is a huge focus for a lot of universities. And at USC, we have exactly the same services that you will be offered as an international student is exactly the same as what our Australian and domestic students will be offered. So you do have academic support, study support. We do have student counsellors on campus. So if there's anything that you're struggling with, and as you were speaking about earlier, being away from home and the normal lifestyle or the normal things that you eat and get to do. If you are struggling with a little bit of homesickness or a little bit of culture shock, there's definitely the possibility to connect with some of our services on campus, both anonymously or in person as well. So that is available 7 days a week. We also have career and employment information, and we host a number of resume building classes and LinkedIn profile classes. So anything like that that you are looking to do, we do have here at USC as well. And then just on top of that, we actually, this picture here that I have in the background, we offer an ambassador program. So most of our students that are coming on exchange or as an international student, for the first semester, they'll get to experience an ambassador program. And that's a program where we take you around to a number of popular destinations on the Sunshine Coast. And then you get to sort of experience some local life, but then we also offer, and you of course get to meet other international students and have a social outing and opportunities to meet others. But we also do a number of educational events. So we run marketing classes or social media classes to help engage our students, and it will depend on the semester. And a lot of the time you'll get to choose what types of courses you'd like to take, and there'll be like little mini series and maybe a cultural class or branding yourself before going into the workforce. And that's really focused around employability after your degree as well. So why choose USC? Again, like I said, I think the whole purpose of these virtual study abroad sessions are not just to think about our university, but all the different destinations that you can go to. If it's somewhere else in the US, if it's somewhere overseas, the opportunities are sort of limitless these days, and trying to find a university that best suits what you're looking for in a destination as well as an education, I think is really important. So take the time to do your research, which you're all obviously doing now. Speak with other people that have studied abroad, chat with the international office, and ask those questions and sort of do a little bit of online research as well. Obviously for me, USC, it was quite clear it is a smaller university in Australia, so I felt that I was really looked after and there was a lot of personal attention. We do have the 5-star education and student satisfaction with those Good University Guide ratings as well, so that's quite important too. And then obviously the wide range of study options so that it can be flexible. So as an international student, you can take a business class, but you can also take a sports and exercise science class. Or if you'd like to, you can study all of your subjects in creative industries. So it's completely up to you and what programs or courses you're needing to get towards your degree back at Millikan as well. We do have excellent academic support because we are a smaller university. Professors will know each other by name, and and you can see them in the coffee shop and say, oh, Oscar, I'm having an issue with this subject, and do you mind taking the time to sit with me and go over a few concepts so I can get a better understanding of that? And for me, that's really important. If you're here for an education and you need access to services, you know that USC staff are going to be there for you, and they have an open door policy, which is really great. Very authentic Australian experience. So not only with the Australian students in your classes and in your housing or accommodation, but also the little kangaroos on campus, and just the Sunshine Coast lifestyle. It is very, very Australian. So you'll get to learn our Australian slang and meet some of the local, both people and the wildlife, which is really amazing. And you can rest assured that we have a modern campus because we are one of the younger universities. There's some really amazing technology on campus, especially if you're in engineering or nursing sciences. There's the sports and exercise science facilities are amazing as well. So there's some really unique opportunities there for you as students. And again, as I mentioned in my first slide, it's an ideal location for exploring the rest of Australia so that you can maximise your time down under. It is a long flight to Australia. So if you're going to study abroad, taking that semester opportunity and being able to go to Sydney and go to the Great Barrier Reef and maybe travel to the Northern Territory, I think that's an amazing opportunity for you all as well. So I thought that I do have some more slides, but I thought that I might open it up to an opportunity for you to ask questions, so I can get an understanding of what you'd like to know about, whether it's just as an Australian or if it's specific about USC. But yeah, feel free to jump on and ask any questions at all.
So we did have one question. You answered the weather question. Someone asked about the weather, which you answered, but the other question was from a faculty member. And the question is, what kind of possibilities might there be for a Fulbright fellowship or faculty exchange options?
Yeah, so definitely faculty exchange. We have done that successfully with a number of US and German institutions. I would have to look into Fulbright a little bit further. We haven't had any Fulbright opportunities to date, but I can get some more information on that and send it through to you, Brianna, as well. Awesome. But definitely faculty exchange. We've actually even had a delegation from Grand Valley State University, so that's just next door to you guys, right? Michigan, is that right? Yeah, no, Michigan next door. Yeah. And so we had a staff member from the library, so we actually had a 2-week faculty exchange between our librarians and then a number of their sports and exercise science staff members. So there's anything from short-term opportunities to a longer semester opportunity as well. And it just really depends on what topic areas and who we can connect you with at USC as well.
Awesome. So can you email me more information about that so
definitely.
That I can to Dr. O, and then we'll go from there.
I can definitely do that. Yes.
Awesome. No and then my other question was about virtual study abroad. So I know that you're well aware that traveling isn't as accessible as it has been in the past. And so is USC offering any online options for students right now?
So we have an online option. So students can study abroad for 1 semester online. However, as I was speaking to you earlier, we haven't really got this virtual exchange option for people in the Northern Hemisphere. It is making it a little bit harder for us in terms of time difference in attending classes. Of course, you can study abroad and everything's online and all the courses are online, but instead of an online teaching, it's more like an online self-learning. Mm-hmm. And we haven't fully finalized our short courses that we're trying to offer. So our virtual short courses won't be on offer until next year, but I can keep you posted on that as well. But of course you can do a study abroad semester if you are in the early stages of your degree and you are looking to come to Australia. I would encourage you to try and wait as long as possible until you can actually come down through the restrictions, only given that coming to Australia really is about the experience on top of the education for that study abroad semester. But of course, if you are towards the end of your degree and it's something that you're really looking to engage with, I would obviously speak with Brianna about, Brianna, sorry, I keep saying Brianna, very Australian. And I think that there might be some other options for virtual exchange at the moment as well.
Perfect. Thank you. What
No
other
problem.
questions do we have for Alana, if any?
I just go through my slides, see what I have underneath this. I didn't speak about accommodation, but if students are interested, of course, we have student accommodation. It's only a 5-minute walk from campus. And then it's very nice. I think it's quite similar to Millikan. You have swimming pools and tennis courts in your accommodation. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. We have similar.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that
So
a lot of times students are curious about that. So that is good to know that USC does have pretty much on campus housing that for you to live in. And we've had 3 students come to USC, and they could not have been more happy with the experience. They absolutely loved it. They've since graduated, but if you're a student that is interested, I can definitely put you in touch with Kimberly or Cody to talk to them more about their experience.
excellent. And I think that's the best thing in terms of getting an understanding of an experience and learning from others, especially as students. Obviously, I love USC and I think it was a great study option for me. But really having that connection with other students that have studied abroad and talking to the international office, I think that's a really important step for students and staff to sort of get a feeling about what opportunities are available as well.
Great. Well, if no one else has any questions, we are right at the 2 o'clock mark or half an hour mark. So thank you so much, Alana.
No problem.
I did record the session. I hope that's okay with everyone. I forgot to
Of
mention
course.
the beginning. So it'll be uploaded for students that weren't able to attend. I know a lot of people had questions and they weren't able to join us today or wanted to learn more. So that will be available online for them to view. And if you have questions for Alana, of course, you can contact their international office or me, and we can make it happen, you know?
Yes. Feel free to email us or connect with us on Instagram. We are happy to answer any questions that you might have, whether it's about Australia or USC.
Great. So that